Hey, I'm reading Grandad's Dinosaur. Hey, this is Sally, and this is Sally's granddad. Sally's granddad has a big, cluttered backyard with a pond. Grandad said Sally could try to catch some tadpoles in the pond. So Sally went to the garage to get a fishnet. Sally's granddad has a messy garage. Sally couldn't find a fishnet anywhere. She looked under some boxes, she looked on a shelf, she looked in a cupboard. But there was no fishnet. Then Sally heard a rustling noise. It was coming from behind a pile of old magazines. Suddenly, out jumped the strangest creature Sally had ever seen. It was bright red and around the size of a large dog. Sally was amazed. "Hello there," said the creature. Sally was even more amazed. "You must be Sally. I have heard your granddad talking about you." Sally looked frightened. "Don't be scared," said the creature. "I'm only a dinosaur." "A dinosaur?" said Sally. "Oh, I know people think that dinosaurs are great big creatures with long tails and tall necks." The dinosaur went on, "And everyone thinks we died out years ago. But there are still a few of us little ones around. It's just that humans don't often spot us. You have to be very quick and very lucky to see a dinosaur." And he smiled at Sally. "But why didn't Grandad tell me about you?" asked Sally, feeling a little annoyed. "Because he doesn't know about me," said the dinosaur. "He's not quick enough or lucky enough to see me." "Now then, have you seen the fishnet?" asked the dinosaur. "I was looking for it when you came in to catch tadpoles," asked Sally. "Good gracious, no," he replied. "I want some pondweed for my dinner. I used to live in a nice warm swamp where there was plenty of pondweed. It's my favorite. Come on, let's get going." And he handed Grandad's best fishnet to Sally. Sally and the small red dinosaur started to walk through the yard. Suddenly, the dinosaur spotted Grandad's clothesline. It was covered in clothes that Grandad had washed that morning. "Hey," said the dinosaur, "look at that. I just love those crazy things." "What things?" said Sally. "Those crazy, wishy-washy, whirly-giggy things. Have you ever had a spin on one?" "What do you mean?" asked Sally. "I'll show you," grinned the dinosaur. Before Sally knew what was happening, the dinosaur leaped onto Grandad's clothesline and started to spin around and around. "Whee! Watch me go!" Soon the clothes started flying off the line. A striped towel went first, then a pair of swim trunks, and one of Grandad's old vests. Sally started to laugh. Then she heard the creak of a window opening. In a flash, the dinosaur dropped to the ground and hid behind a pot of flowers. "Sally," called Grandad, "my whiskers, the wind has started to blow a little, hasn't it? Put those clothes back on the line, there's a good girl." And Grandad shut the window with a bang. Sally started to pick up the clothes. "Do you think he saw us?" asked the dinosaur. "From behind the flowers?" "I don't think so," said Sally. Sally and the small red dinosaur started to walk to the pond. "Hey, look at that," said the dinosaur suddenly. There is one of those fabulous off-you-go scooters. I love them." The dinosaur was pointing to a small wagon. Sally's granddad used it to move his garbage can from the back door to the yard. "Have you ever had a ride on one?" asked the dinosaur. "Quick, jump on!" Before Sally knew what was happening, the dinosaur was on the wagon. Sally got on behind him. The dinosaur scooted the wagon along with one back leg. He steered with his front paws. "Whee!" shouted the dinosaur. They went very fast along the path. "How do you stop?" cried Sally. "Easy," said the dinosaur. The next moment they crashed slap bang right into Grandad's garbage can. The wagon, Sally, and the small red dinosaur flew through the air and landed in the cabbage patch. The lid of the garbage can fell on the ground with a huge bang. It sounded like an elephant walking into a pair of cymbals. Then Sally heard the creak of a window opening. "Sally," called Grandad, "my whiskers, now the wind has blown off the garbage can lid. Put it back for me, there's a good girl." "Yes, Grandad," said Sally. "Do you think he saw us?" whispered the dinosaur. "I don't think so," said Sally. Sally and the small red dinosaur saw the garden hose and the sprinkler lying on the lawn. "Hey, look at that," cried the dinosaur. "A sprinkly, winkly, groundy weather. Great, turn the water on, Sally, and watch me go." Sally turned it on and waited. Then the dinosaur did an amazing thing. As the sprinkler started to turn around, he stood in the middle of it. Then he began to do all kinds of clever tricks. As the sprinkler went faster, the dinosaur balanced on one leg. He did a handstand. He even stood on his head. Whoosh! Speed it up, Sally. This is fantastic. Sally turned the water on full blast and went to join in the fun. She ran around and around the spinning dinosaur until she began to feel very dizzy. The water splashed everywhere and they both got very wet. You're fantastic too, giggled Sally. I didn't know dinosaurs could be like you. The dinosaur went faster and faster and faster. Then he began to wobble. Just when he was trying a very difficult tailstand, the sprinkler tipped over. A jet of water sprayed into Sally's face. As Sally tried to get out of the way, her feet got mixed up with the dinosaur's feet. They both tripped over the hose and each other, but they didn't fall on the wet lawn. They fell into Grandad's pond. Then they heard the creak of a window opening. Sally called Grandad, "My whiskers, now it started to rain. You'd better come in. There's a good girl." "Yes, Grandad," said Sally, still sitting in the cold, muddy water. "Do you think he saw us?" asked the dinosaur. "I don't think so," said Sally, and she got out of the pond and drifted back toward the house. Later that evening, Sally and Grandad were reading a book together. The book was called The Wonderful World of Dinosaurs. There were a lot of pictures of great big dinosaurs with long tails and tall necks. Suddenly, Sally spotted a small dinosaur. It was red. It looked exactly like the dinosaur in Grandad's garage. "Hey, look at that!" cried Sally. "My whiskers," said Grandad. "I didn't know there were any red dinosaurs. This one was called, do you think he saw us?" The book says sometimes people are still lucky enough to see one. But I don't believe that. Do you, Sally? Sally started to giggle. And so did somebody else. "Do you think he saw us?"